All right, guys, it's go time. We've almost made it to Apple's September 6th event where we will be seeing the iPhone 14, the Apple Watch Series 8, and so much more. I wanted to make this video to go over all the leaks, all the rumors for everything we can expect and the details about the event. So if you're excited, drop a like down below. Seriously helps me and the channel out. And of course, hit subscribe, not for me, but so I can beat my friend John Prosser to 500,000 subscribers. Man, I'm so excited. This is my favorite time of the year. Let's talk about the event. It's happening on Tuesday, September 6th, according to a new rumor from our boy, Max Weinbach. Max doesn't leak a ton of stuff, but when he does, it's generally very accurate. And I don't want to say too much here other than we talked in I believe him. All right. I think Tuesday, September 6th is when this event is going to happen, which means the phones will launch 10 days later on Friday, September 16th. So iPhone 14 release date, Friday, September 16th. That is if the filming keeps going smoothly, because according to Mark Gurman, Apple is in the process of producing this event right now, sounding like it is going to be, yet again, another virtual pre-recorded event that all of us can watch online. I mean, with any production, things could go wrong, so the event could get pushed a week or something, but like Tuesday, September 6th, that is when we will be seeing the iPhone 14, which is going to be the headline of this event. And that's why this year they're taking a different approach than they've taken historically. So let's start off with the standard iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Max, because these are the two sizes available. You'll have the same 6.1-inch model that we've had on the iPhone for a while, but a brand new 6.7-inch Max size for under $1,000. This phone is going to be such a good value. It's going to be so sick. For the first time ever, a giant iPhone under $1,000. I don't think this is set in for a lot of people yet. It's going to be massive. But even with the new Max size, just looking at the design of the iPhone 14 and 14 Max, I mean, it looks pretty much identical to the iPhone 13. You've got the same aluminum design, the squared off edges, the diagonal camera system, of which you get two lenses yet again. We can be honest with each other here, right? I'm just going to say it. The iPhone 14 is going to be a really, really minor upgrade over the iPhone 13, to the point where I don't think it's going to be worth it for really anybody. Why is Apple doing this? Well, they wanted to make the Pro and the non-Pro much different in a way that they hadn't done so before, so they've saved all of the cool stuff for the Pros. Just like the lower end iPhone 14, you're going to have a 6.1 and 6.7-inch max-sized option. But as you can see immediately, there are a lot of changes on here. Sure, the general squared off edges design language is the same, but the camera bump, the front of the phone, it's all different. But I guess where we should really start is with the new notch design on the Pros. It's going to be totally different. The first time ever the iPhone has not had a cutout in the top. It's going to be just in the display like this. Looks like the letter I. And I know this is a hot take, but I love it. And I know, flame me in the comments. All right, just let me have it. All right, beat me up for the take, but I will die on this hill. I think this actually looks really good. And I say this, number one, because it means you're getting more screen on the Pros that we've ever seen. And then number two, the bezels can get even thinner. Like the side bezels on the Pro are some of the thinnest bezels I've seen on any phones ever. Like this is just the front of the phone and it's already so much more than the standard 14s. On the back, it gets even crazier. You'll see the camera bump is significantly larger. And yes, it's actually getting thicker, but for good reason. Apple's put a 48 megapixel sensor in here, which is 4 times the number of pixels on the other iPhone. It's going to go from 12 megapixels on the 14 up to 48 megapixels on the 14 Pro. It's the biggest jump in resolution and megapixels on the iPhone ever by a lot. So maybe this is why Apple's only putting the truly new A16 chip in the Pros, because they need that power to process all the pixels. I don't know. I'm being optimistic. I don't genuinely know why Apple's not putting the A16 in both phones, other than the fact that the Pro and the non-Pro have been so similar for so long, and Apple doing this is going to make them a little bit different. Of course, all of this comes at a higher cost, with the Pros said to be starting at $1,000 again, and then the Pro Max will be $1,100, where you can get an iPhone 14 for $799, and the Max will be $899 for the standard 14. I mean, with all this laying out on the table, what do you guys think? Are you finally going to shell out $1,000 for the Pros? Is it finally going to be worth it with the widest gap ever between the models? I mean, to me, it's like the iPhone 14 and then the iPhone 14 Ultra. Right? They're not really that close, even though they're going to be both called the iPhone 14. Okay, that's the iPhone. Let's move on now to the Apple Watch Series 8, which is also just around the corner and is not going to look like this. I know you guys have seen a lot of renders rumors that showed watches with flat edges. That is because John Prosser made us believe this. Okay, remember, this is the guy I'm trying to beat in subscribers, because according to the latest rumors, the standard Apple Watch Series 8 is going to look, guess what, like the Series 7, which is actually more rounded than Apple Watches before and does have the larger display. The main new feature this year is going to be a temperature sensor built into the watch that can not only help you as a woman with family planning and learning more about your fertility cycle, but for everybody else, just being able to let you know if you have an elevated temperature, which I think could actually be game-changing considering like the whole state of the world and all of these new diseases that are popping up every day. It could be helpful if your watch let you know before you even noticed yourself, hey, you might have a fever. Why don't you go take your temperature with a thermometer to confirm? I mean, that feature, I'm so ready. I've wanted a temperature sensor on an Apple product for so long, and I just can't believe it's finally happening. There's also going to be a new low power mode on the Apple Watch Series 8, similar to how it works on the iPhone, where when you go to low power mode, it dims your display a little bit, it slows down performance to extend your battery life. Because the current low power on the Apple Watch does this. It literally just turns your watch into the time, and it shows you that you need to charge. Like, it's not actually functional. So the new version should make the watch actually a bit more compelling to use. Now, you're probably saying, Sam, we're really jumping to like the low-hanging fruit features here. What is really coming on the Apple Watch Series 8? Genuinely, for the standard model, it doesn't sound like a lot. That's because, like Apple's doing with the Pro iPhones, how they're putting all their attention and the cool stuff there, that's also what's happening because this is going to be the first year that Apple drops an Apple Watch Pro. And it's actually the Pro watch that could end up looking something similar to this, as it's going to be more rugged and aimed at extreme sports. Obviously, as LeBron Jr., this is going to be my go-to as somebody that is always just doing the most extreme athleticism. I mean, people walk by me all the time and they say, wow, how are you so athletic? Well, guess what? You could be an extreme athlete too for $1,000 because that is said to be the price of this watch, with it being made of a new titanium material that is even stronger than Apple Watches before it. Apple doesn't want to just sell you a watch. They want to sell you something more similar to a G-Shock. And because the actual size of the watch is increasing a little bit, the screen I think is going to be about 8% larger on this model. It's also going to be the first Apple Watch ever with better battery life, which is insane to say that we've had the same Apple Watch battery life every single year since 2015, but with the Series 8 Pro, we're getting better battery life. We don't exactly know how much, just that it is going to go up, I hope, by at least a couple of hours. Now, joking aside, as somebody who is pretty active and as somebody who's always like banging my watch into walls and stuff, it's probably going to be a good idea for me to buy this. I just don't know the general public's feeling about $1,000 for your phone and $1,000 for your watch and $1,000 for your Mac. Is this what they do? They just slowly build up over time. So the iPhone 14 and the Apple Watch Series 8, those are going to be the big parts of this event. But something Apple has been doing regularly at the past few September events is also announcing a new version of the standard low-cost iPad. This is the one that starts at $329. And this year, we should be getting the biggest update I would say we've ever seen to this iPad. It's going up to a 10.5-inch screen from 10.2 inches with 5G capability, USB-C on the bottom. Yes, we are getting a USB-C port now on every iPad that Apple makes. Holy is this really happening? I mean, I think so. Like, that's what the rumors are saying. There's a pretty good consensus here. And on the inside, there's also going to be an A14 chip. We've seen some really random mock-ups that look like this. It's not a great picture of the device, but it looks like it could even have the squared off edges in a redesign. Like, moral of the story with this is definitely don't buy an iPad right now, and especially don't buy an Apple Watch or an iPhone right now. I mean, it's a month until we're getting these. All right, guys, that is, I think, going to be Apple's September event. I don't see a one more thing or a bonus happening. No credible sources have said that. I think it's just going to be really focused iPhone, Apple Watch, base iPad. And then we'll have a second event in October or November with Mac Mini, some other fun stuff. We'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is Apple's September event. I'm Sam. I'll catch you cool cats in my next video. Peace.